BLITZ, Coach Michael Palmer of the Commerce Lady Tigers. Coach, really appreciate you having me up here to talk about your team a little bit.
Appreciate you coming by.
Yes, sir. Now, this is a program that last year won 6 games, and you're already 15-2 at, you might as well say, the midway point this year. What's been the biggest key to this turnaround since you've taken this program over?
I mean, I'm not going to deny the fact that we've had some Taylor Clark coming back, even though she got hurt 3 games in. That's huge. Just the leadership of having her here. The seniors, I feel like, have just been totally bought in. Last year we didn't have a JV team. We've got a JV team where we're getting kids game reps against other teams. We had a post player come in from New Jersey that was kind of totally just fell in our lap. Had another kid transfer in that's helped us out, 10th grader Sierra Rucker. So, and then we had 2 kids that weren't going to play but decided to go ahead and give it a go for their senior year in Journey and Jaya Van. So, I'm not going to deny that the roster is showing me a good coach or a team with a good record. I'll show you somebody that's got good players. So I'm not going to deny the importance of the players that we got. But I do feel like the culture's a little different. There's a lot of buy-in from the girls. I feel like in the locker room, we got kids going to church together, going to eat together, going to sporting events together, whitewater rafting. I feel like we've done a gamut of things to try to bring. I really didn't want the sisterhood to be just a slogan we threw on T-shirts. I wanted people to really be able to watch from the stands and say, man, that group of kids, they are tight. They are like sisters.
Yeah. And 2, you mentioned one of the seniors, but V. Williams and Jaya Van, what can you say about their leadership and their importance to this team specifically?
I mean, they're like, I couldn't even put a price tag on how important they've been and all the seniors have been. Those 2, they're tough in the weight room, they're tough in the classroom, they're tough in practice, they're tough in games. And that's kind of what we wanted was kids, who not just, hey, I care about basketball, but we also want them to care about taking care of business in the classroom so that when they get out of Commerce High School, they have educational freedom to have opportunities in life. The weight room, I don't think anybody ever wins a region or state championship without going through the weight room. So that's a huge emphasis for us. I feel like it's a place, we're probably better than we were last year or when I first got here, but we're still not where I would like for us to be on that. So that's a work in progress. But those 2 kids kill it in there. Like they're always working hard. And so I just feel like their senior leadership has just been something, just can't really put a price tag on that. So it's been super important for me. And I think it kind of lays the foundations. I hope when they come back, in the future, when they get out of here, 2 years, 3 years, they come back, I hope they see the team playing and we're doing well and they say, man, I really was a big part of that. I was the first group of seniors that Coach Palmer had. And that's kind of what I see in the future when they come back and watch us play.
Yeah. And then you mentioned the freshmen, the stellar class that you got coming in. Daniels, Deanna Jackson, Mary Waters, Glenn Ward, others too. But talk about their quick ascension and how much they bring to what we're seeing here.
I think it was really quick for Quinn and Mary and Kenyana because, I was with them a whole season last year at the middle school level. So they kind of knew what practices would look like. They knew what the expectations were going to be. They were kind of already bought into the culture a little bit. Obviously it's much different. They're kind of resetting where they're starting from when you're a 9th playing against 11th and 12th graders that, you play 25 games a year plus on varsity. So some of those kids have probably 70 games ahead of them in experience. So, they are starting from ground zero, so to speak, but I do feel like they already know the expectations. They already know what I want out of them in terms of competitive maturity. And Naya's just been great. She's blended in well, almost as if she's been here the whole time. But she came in, and she's obviously, you can't coach height. She's got height. She's athletic. She's got a good skill set. She doesn't try to do stuff that, you ain't going to see her standing on the three-point line trying to shoot threes. She gets to the paint, gets to spots, and, I just think it's been a blessing to have a class of 4 freshmen who show up every day. They try to work hard, and they're kind of bought into, hey, we can build something special as we keep moving up and out in terms of grade level.
One thing I love about watching your team is the resilience and the intensity. Specifically, I mean, this is a cool stat: 6-0 in away games, and for a pretty young team, that says a lot. What would you kind of say about the resiliency and the intensity of this team?
I know this is going to sound cliche, but our kids do a Bible study once a week, and we share a lot of scripture with each other. And I think it was Micah 7:8 we shared, which basically means, when you fall down, get up. And so we constantly say that. We talk about, hey, it may not be this game, even if we're not going to win it, but we can always get better for the next game or the next season. And one thing we've harped on a lot too is, when you're chopping a tree down, you really don't know what swing of the axe really knocks the tree down. You don't know if it's the first, the last, something in the middle. So we're always kind of talking about, just keep chopping, just keep fighting. No matter what the score looks like, just keep fighting. There's always room where we can get better. When you're down, it's always good to work on perseverance. And so, and that's the one thing I'll say. I have kids who do have some hardships, and I think sometimes those hardships build up. They have perseverance just on their own. They walk into the gym with it because they've navigated through some difficult things outside of basketball. And so there's no way I could take all the credit for that. I do think we try to talk about that in our culture, but I think a lot of it, some of these kids have that they've gotten from other areas outside of the basketball court.
What do you feel like are the goals and expectations for this team the rest of the way?
When Taylor went down, before Taylor went down, my personal goals was to get to 20 wins. And when she went down, I said, if we could just get to 15 or a little above that, and then obviously the region tournament, everybody kind of starts 0-0 regardless of seeding, and the state tournament's the same way. So, I'd like to just do as well as we can do with what we have, especially for the seniors. And then, ideally everybody's wanting to make the state tournament. I'm no different. I hope we can make the state tournament and see if we can get in there and make a run. I do feel like our region, one of the reasons that I took this job and wanted to coach was, I just looked at the region. I said, man, this is one of the best regions in the state for girls basketball, top to bottom. You're not going to find anybody. You got Dee Dee Dillard, who's one of the state's top coaches for girls. Jason Gibson, another one of the state's top coaches. I think Coach Jones at Elbert, I don't think he gets the credit. I mean, his teams are constantly winning 20 games. Brandon Dickens at Oglethorpe is a kid who does probably the most with the less. In terms of, you ain't got a lot of kids transferring in there. It's not a big school, but she's constantly doing a great job coaching. Providence, Coach Lightfoot does a good job. And then you look at Academy. I mean, if you take Hebron out of the private school playoffs, I think Academy wins that state championship. So this region is so tough that I feel like, we'll be very battle tested after we've played everybody twice, and then we go into the region. If we can lucky enough to make state, that I don't doubt that this region couldn't put 3 out of 4 teams in the Final Four. So we're looking forward to that. And I think with the coaches we have to go against, the players we have to go against, the home atmospheres when we go on the road, I think we'll be ready for whatever the state tournament throws at us. So our goal is to just keep getting better game by game, try to win as many games as possible, play as well as we can, and then hopefully get in the state tournament. And I would love for us to make a run there.
Yeah. Well, I love what you're doing here, Coach, and can't wait to see how the rest of the season goes for you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate all you do for the athletes in this area. Thank you.
Thank you.
Storyblocks